Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tia here. If you're new, please like and subscribe. But for today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys basically about one of the previous jobs that I worked at. So this one is going to be about working at Dollar Tree. So a lot of people, they call it like Dollar Store, Dollar Tree, and I know there's like Dollar General, those type of things, but Dollar General is kind of like different. I feel like Dollar General is typically in low income areas and it's like a quick buy or whatever. There's not really any of those close to where I live because I live in like a white neighborhood or whatever. So we have like a whole bunch of Dollar Trees where I live. So basically, the first thing that I did, obviously, I had to do like the whole application process and everything. That one was, it's like low key weird because when I applied, it was the beginning of December and there was like an old man there. He was the boss, like typical old white man, and he seemed like pretty chill and nice and everything. So he had me do the interview and I was like, talking about myself and he was like explaining the company to me and I was like, oh, okay, like obviously like the boring stuff or whatever. And then he pretty much hired me on the spot. He was like, okay, like now I need to get your information. You need to fill out like your W-2 and then like whatever. And I brought him like my social security card and like my ID and all that stuff. So we were in like the little office, and keep in mind the office of Dollar Tree is like usually at the front of the store because like I'm pretty sure all of them are built the same. So the office is at the front of the store and that's literally right next to the cashiers are. So if you're in the office talking really loud, the cashier and the customers, they can literally hear you because it's right there. So it was low-key uncomfortable because he's there asking me for my information and he's like okay, like what is your security code number, and I'm like there like giving him the digits and he's like 612, he's like repeating the number. I'm like, bro, why are you saying my social that loud, right? So it was like really weird, and like this interview lasted over the span of an hour, and that's already annoying because I'm like, I know other stores would probably do that, but like this is Dollar Tree, like anyone can work here. Come on. Like you don't need a degree to work at Dollar Tree. So interview went on for freaking ever. He was explaining to me like the whole manual and the nonsense. And he's there typing in my stuff. And I don't even know if he's doing it wrong. And part of me was like, I've never had a boss type in my information and like my security codes. And you know how you have like security questions to answer? Like, what is your mother's maiden name and shit like that? He was typing it in for me, and I'm thinking like, bro, this would go a lot quicker if I could do this shit myself. And then why are you like here typing in all of my like passwords and stuff? So that was pretty weird. Um I'm also pretty sure that he messed up my W-2s because then when I had to do taxes like the next year or whatever, like it was whack or whatever, like they didn't take any money out for my taxes. So that was weird. But like hiring process completely weird. And then I found out later that the manager, he's like low-key a creep because like he only hires women for some reason. And then like the guy who got hired after me, he was like, oh yeah, like my interview was only like 10 minutes, like he barely even talked to me. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting, you know. So it was him, he was like the main manager of the whole entire store. And then you had the other assistant managers, which was this one girl, her name was Bunny, and then the other one was like the strict manager was what she was known as. Her name was like Jean or something like that. So, and she was like an older woman too. But Bunny, she was known as like the cool manager. So I was like, oh, this is great. Like I just got hired and like Bunny is here and she's really chill and cool. She got tattoos, piercings, colored hair. This is amazing. So she was really chill. We also had a guy there, he had autism, and like I don't know. I didn't even know that he had that. I thought he was literally just like insane or just acting out or whatever. Cause he was like, I think he's like what, mid 30s or something like that. But like the way he would act was like really scary. Like he would scare the customers away. But yeah, then I found out he has like low functioning autism. But overall, like the process of working there was really stressful at first because I got hired in December, and y'all know that Christmas is like the worst time because people are buying wrapping paper and like the gifts and like everything like that. So that was really stressful for me, and I basically had to get trained like the 2 weeks before Christmas. There was also like this other girl who worked there, like this young black girl. She was like, how old is she? I think she's like what, 4 years younger than me, something like that. But she was pretty chill. I became friends with her, but it was really bad because Bunny and like nobody got along. Now that I think about it, because I'm the new person there, and like literally all of them are telling me their drama. Like this person is here being like, oh my gosh, like she's the strict manager, nobody likes her, she's like a bitch, blah blah blah. And then you got the strict manager, she's here telling me like, oh my gosh, the employees are so lazy, they don't want to do anything, and that forces me to be mean. And I'm like, okay, like, so who's telling the truth? But then in reality, that's when you realize, like, if there's like 5 employees complaining about the strict manager, then obviously something's going on with her and how she treats them, right? But of course I like giving people the benefit of the doubt. But then I later realized she actually is a bitch, and she's mean and strict and like hardworking or whatever. But so I didn't like her like really fast, and obviously I didn't think I was gonna like her because she is like what, like 50-year-old white woman. Obviously we're not gonna have anything in common. But then I started working there, blah blah blah, and then something happened. I think it was one day in January, there was like a really bad blizzard, and Bunny was working there, and she was supposed to like close the store, but she walks home because she lives like 5 minutes away or something. So she was like, how am I gonna walk home in a blizzard on the side of the road? That's really dangerous. Like, I need to close the store early, I need to start heading home like now, blah blah blah, before it gets bad. And I was about to like clock out too, but I wanted to like stay and see what was happening and stuff. So the strict manager was saying like, oh no, like you'll be fine, like just close the store at 9 p.m, like you'll be fine, the blizzard is not even starting. Whole time it's literally starting, and it was like 6 p.m, and we were supposed to get like a really bad like snowstorm. So Bunny, she called like the district manager. She was like arguing on the phone with him. He was like, don't close the fucking store, because Dollar Tree is known for treating their employees like shit, and all they care about is money. So he was like, I don't care if you die in the store, I don't care if you die walking home, you're gonna stay open till 9 o'clock. So pretty much Bunny was like, okay, fine, I'll stay open. So then I was supposed to clock out, and then the strict manager was like, okay, you got this, I'm going home. So the strict manager, she left before I did, and I stayed to like talk to Bunny about the whole situation. And then Bunny was like, I do not care that they tell me that I'm gonna have to stay here till 9. I'm closing the store at 7. I do not care. I need to get home safe. And I was like, yeah, like I would do the same thing. Like, what the hell? Like, I wouldn't stay here alone until 9 p.m. during a blizzard, you know? So she pretty much quit the same night. She was like, okay, like I'm gonna quit right now because I do not give a fuck. So she like put her key in an envelope and slid it under the door after she locked it. And I was like, dang, like she quit. And I'm thinking there like, dang, now I'm gonna have to deal with like the strict manager and the old man, and the cool manager is gonna be gone. That freaking sucks. So pretty much Bunny quit, and then the next day everybody was like, oh my gosh, she quit? Like, why would she do that? Just because she didn't want to walk home in the snow? Like, oh my gosh. So they were pretty much blaming her, and they said it was her fault, and they said like she was like weak and complains about everything. And I'm like, bro, like that's kind of stupid. So pretty much I was like the little secret informant, and I was like listening to the managers talk about her, and I would go tell her everything that the manager said. Like I would text her and be like, yeah, they're talking shit about you, they're saying you're like this and this and this. And she was like, wow, that's crazy, I thought they were being all nice to me to my face, but I guess they're mean behind my back. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, they're like old people, they're gonna like gossip and shit. um so pretty much I was on Bunny's side, because like that's just like she's part of my generation. Like I like older people tend to see things differently. Bunny quit, and then the guy with autism, he ended up coming in, and he was like, where is Bunny, where is Bunny? Because they were like best friends or whatever. And then the strict manager was like, oh yeah, Bunny quit because of an incident that happened. And he was like, what, she quit? So he had a whole entire fit, and it was really awkward. I wasn't really friends with him because like he would always ask me the most random questions. Like, so, you know, he quit because she quit, so we were basically down 2 people, and then they tried to schedule me like 45 hours only as a cashier, and I'm like, bro, like what the fuck are y'all doing? Just hire somebody else, because we've had tons of people come in to apply, but the manager, he would never look at their applications. He would be like, yeah, just apply online, blah blah blah. Like he wouldn't care. But now we're down 2 people, and we were basically screwed. So then like I was being overworked, and like we had to like stock all the shelves with all the stuff because Dollar Tree gets new stuff like every freaking day. um so the stocking thing was horrible. And then the manager, the white man, he was like, do you want to be an assistant manager, you know, because Bunny just quit. And I'm like, bro, what? I've been working here for like a month, almost 2 months, and you're asking me to be an assistant manager when I don't know anything, and like I would have to count the money and then close the store by myself. Are you kidding me? I'm only a little girl, you know? So I was surprised that he asked me about that. But like obviously you don't really have to have any qualifications or anything to be a manager. Um so then I was like no thanks. And he was like, but you can like move up. You can be like an assistant manager, and then you'll become a manager, and then you can do this. I'm like, no, because I think us being an assistant manager was only $1 more than being a cashier, and assistant managers have to do like 10 times more work. You know, they have to put up all the displays, they have to do the stocking things, they gotta help unload the truck. I ain't trying to do all that when I only weigh like 105. I can't unload a freaking truck, you know, and I don't want to be here at like 8 a.m. doing shit, you know. So I was not about to do all that extra work for $1 extra, and I pretty much turned him down. But overall, like being a cashier was also really uncomfortable because I've been a cashier before, but at Dollar Tree, they got so many different characters walking in there. There was like a crackhead, he would be dancing around with his little boombox with his shirt off, and we would be like, what the hell is he doing? You know? And then there was also like this pedophile who would come in, like this older black man, and he would like, I don't know if he would like flirt with like me and the other black girl that was there, but it was like really uncomfortable. Like he would like make faces and stuff, and like he would be talking to the girl, and he was like, man, like if I was like 30 years younger, like he would say the most uncomfortable things, right? But me, I don't put up with that shit, right? Like the girl, she was like overly nice, but like, you know, you never know how to react until you're in that scenario. But whenever he would come talk to me, I would have the straightest face ever. I would not make eye contact with him. I would bag his shit really fast. I wasn't trying to like talk to him or anything. And then I'd be like, bye, have a good day. And like, that's it, you know? And he's just so freaking weird. And then there was one day when he came in with his wife, and like he had his head down, he was not talking. I'm like, yeah, you better not talk before I would tell your wife that you're here trying to talk to 2 little girls, you know? Um, but yeah, overall, it was really bad. After Bunny ended up leaving, the strict manager, she ended up giving me like a whole bunch of boxes to unpack. That's what I feel like was really terrible, because she would give me like 20 boxes to unload, and I would have to stock it on the shelves and everything. And some people are like, oh, like, you know, it makes the day go faster. But me, I was like, she's giving me slave work, you know, and I'm here like, why is she overworking me this much, you know? And then like she is supposed to be the manager, like she's supposed to be stocking and doing all this stuff too. So I'm like, so I was wondering, I'm like, she's here giving me 20 boxes, what is she doing? Every time I look at her, she's just walking around the store, like. And then she would pick up stuff like that people misplace, and she would give it to me and be like, oh yeah, put this back when you have time, blah blah blah. I'm like, you put it back, you're the one walking around the freaking store, you know? Ended up like just hating the manager. And it was really funny too, because after I told Bunny that they were talking shit about her, Bunny went and made like some Facebook post, but I think like everyone saw it or something like that, and then she had to take it down, and she was posting on TikTok, blah blah blah. But like Bunny apparently got banned from working at like Dollar Tree because of like how she quit or something. Like they didn't like the way she quit, so she's banned from working at all Dollar Trees. And she was like, I don't care about being banned because I got a new job and everything, because she was supposed to be moving anyways. So that was really sad when she left, and it just all went downhill from there. um what else? Even after that, like the whole process of being a cashier is really hard because you're basically up there by yourself. And I know a lot of people who never work there, they always are thinking, they're like, oh my gosh, like why does Dollar Tree only always have one cashier? But like that's how the store is set up. So even like if it's really crowded or depending on where you live, they're all set up the same way to where there's like one manager in the back and then there's one cashier that's like struggling by themselves. um so that was really annoying. There was also this other guy that I worked with. He was like an older man, but he was gay, and he was just weird too because I feel like he would flirt with like the male customers, and he would just like he's just overly talkative. I just hate old people in general. um but the customers are already a downside, and then I'm here dealing with like the terrible managers. And then after that, when I was about to quit to go to another job, I had to train this one guy how to be a cashier. And I think he's still working there now. I don't even know. But I had to train him, and the white man, he was like, "Okay, can you train this guy?" Bye. And I'm like, "Bro, aren't y'all supposed to be training him? You know, I'm not a manager. Why am I doing managerial things?" So I basically trained the new guy, and obviously we were like cool and everything. We were talking because I think he was in like high school or something. But he was pretty chill. I had to train him, show him how to do everything, but he's just slow at being a cashier. Because when I have to scan stuff, I'm like scanning this and I'm like grabbing the next thing, and I like scan and grab like this. But the way that he would do it was like grab one thing, scan it, grab one thing, scan it. I'm like, bro, hurry the fuck up. But other than that, he was cool. In general, I don't know, I felt like I was being overworked because I'm like, I know I'm like the only black one here, but is she like treating me like a slave on purpose? And I just really didn't get along with the strict manager. And I think one time she caught me on my phone because I was like texting somebody, and she was like, "Oh my, like what did I tell you about being on your phone?" And I'm like, I looked around the store because like nobody was in the store, first of all. And then she's like, "What are you doing on your phone?" I'm like, "I'm looking for another job." Even though I wasn't, I just said that. And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were planning on leaving." And I'm like, "Girl, did you think I was gonna be here forever? I hate this job." Um, so she was like, "Oh, that's pretty unfortunate. Well, I hope you find something better than this. I hope you enjoy what you do, blah blah blah." And then she tried to get me to be assistant manager. She was like, "But you should really consider being assistant manager. We could use the help here." I'm like, "Lady, no. For $1 more, no." Um, so I just always hated her. And even when we had to like leave at nighttime, the manager is supposed to count the money and then the cashier is supposed to like watch everything. But she would mess up counting the drawers like a million times. She would count, like she'd be like, "Okay, there's like $100 in the drawer, blah blah blah. Oh no, maybe I miscounted." And she would have to count the drawer 7 times when I'm trying to go home and it's almost 9:30, and the store closed like 30 minutes ago. um so I hated that. And then even like the break time is weird because it would be like a 4-hour shift, but you get like a little like 10-minute break. So you would literally just go to the back and sit there pretty much. It was just awkward. And then even when I worked like 8-hour shift, you would get like a 30-minute break, and then like 2 10-minute breaks or something like that. But that was weird too. But overall, working there was a pretty bad experience, I would say. Like I feel like it's just a beginner job, like in the same range as fast food. Is literally just a step up from like working at McDonald's pretty much. Um, but yeah, it was like a terrible experience. Too many things to stock and put on the shelves, and just like I don't know. I feel like if I had a different manager, it would have been a chill job. But like the fact that she was there like forcing me to do like so many like little things that were irrelevant, it just made the experience worse in general. And I feel like she would even like threaten me sometimes, like when I would be on my phone and stuff. She would be like, "Oh, like that if you worked at the other Dollar Tree, they would definitely have fired you by now because I've caught you on your phone 3 times." And I'm like, "Lady, I do not care. If there's nobody in the store, I have no customers in line, and like I already like cleaned the shelves, I already swept the floors, I already organized the stuff, I already unpacked everything. Why does it matter if I'm on my phone or not?" Like she's the type of person that has to be busy 24/7. I don't know what she has, but like she constantly has to like work and be moving 24/7. And that was really annoying because she expects everyone around her to be working 24/7. And I'm like, girl, I'm getting paid minimum wage for this. I'm not going above and beyond to do shit for this minimum wage job. Um, but yeah, even now is really awkward because I'll walk in there and they probably don't even recognize me because I change my hair every day. But like it's awkward. Like I only say hi to like the guy that I trained and then the black girl. That's the only people I talk to. Because the old people probably don't recognize me. But I hated that job. I would not recommend it. Maybe if you're like fresh out of high school, yeah, but if you're like more grown than that, definitely not. Because I don't know, or maybe it's just the managers. I have no clue. But yeah, that was my experience working at Dollar Tree. Really terrible, really bad. I'm gonna give it like a 1 out of 10. The only good parts was like maybe like meeting people. Like there's some people my age who would walk in and I would like talk to, but like that's pretty much it. You know, nothing really enjoyable. But yeah, that was it for this video. If you like the video, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.